Welcome to our very special happy hour tonight, where we're also going to be celebrating our fourth anniversary of the Friends in Fiction official book club with Brenda and Lisa, which blows my mind.
That's insane.
So
I
It's
know.
awesome, though.
I
It's awesome.
know it's crazy.
And you're supposed
So
to
I'm
say the award winning, the award winning.
oh,
Award.
excuse me, the award-winning Friends in Fiction official book club with Brenda and Lisa. So, welcome, guys. I'm Lisa, and I'm here with my co host, Brenda,
Hi,
and our
guys.
fabulous co host that we have totally just adopted, and we won't let him go.
I'm
Ron
not going
Block,
to. Hello,
who
hello,
you
hello.
Yes,
guys, who you guys really came to see tonight.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah,
We tricked
right.
him into, we asked him once and just have never let him, get
Yep.
out of it.
Oh, please. It's a highlight for me. I love doing this. And congratulations.
Oh,
Here's my little thing, but congratulations on winning the award. Oh my God, I'm so
thank
excited for
you.
you.
Oh,
And it's so deserved.
we were
Oh, thank you so
so
much, Ron.
we were shocked, honestly.
Stunned.
Uh,
Stunned,
yeah, we were
absolutely.
Made such a lovely
Although,
especially
what?
with the category. We had some tough competition in that
did.
category, including a
Yes,
celebrity. So we were very shocked.
I'm
yes.
not.
And I might add for the special combined happy hour and fourth year anniversary, Lisa and I are wearing the closest thing we have to tiaras. And we both wore this headgear for the Zibby Awards.
Yep, we both wore these to the Zibby Awards in 2022, and I wore this to the AAMBC Awards. So I feel like it might be good luck. Okay,
Lisa,
so
what are you drinking tonight, Lisa?
so tonight for a special occasion, I decided to pop open a bottle of sweet peach wine that I got from a North Georgia winery called Gin Creek. It looks like apple juice, but it doesn't taste like it. It's so good. What about you, Brenda?
Outstanding. Well, I'm going to follow your lead. I popped open a bottle of cran apple juice
Oh, I
with
thought we were going somewhere else completely there.
I know it's like, woo, after 4 years, she's drinking wine.
Finally.
bottle of apple cranberry juice and ginger ale. So it's a cran apple fizz.
Yum. That sounds good, actually.
Okay. Ron, you got to follow up our silliness.
I know, I know. Well, I don't really have a cocktail this time. I'm really sorry.
Well,
Yeah,
that
I
is
don't believe
okay.
that.
Just kidding, just kidding. So anybody who knows me well and knows me knows that my favorite thing about summer is a tomato. Tomato. And I thought, what can we do? So I did a little research and I found that I can make a tomato martini. Are you ready?
No.
No
Are
way.
you ready? Are you ready?
I
Yes.
All
am
I
right.
love
so
tomatoes.
ready.
But I'm gonna walk through the process because some of the stuff looks kind of weird. So I pulled a pound of fresh tomatoes from my little garden. You take them and you put them on a box grater and you grate all the pulp from the skin, throw the skins away. Then you take that pulp and you put it in a jar and you fill 16 ounces of gin and vodka mixed. I don't like vodka so much, so
Ooh.
mine was pure gin, and you put it in your refrigerator overnight. It's all good. So I all done that, and this is what it looks like in the jar.
Oh
Oh
my
my
gosh.
goodness.
I have to say that Ron is the gin and I'm the vodka. So this is kind of perfect.
That is kind of perfect. Okay, so then you take the pulp after you've drained it from there the next day, and you mix it with these with different brines. It's brine of bread and butter pickles, brine of hot pickled peppers, and brine of olives, and you let
Oh
that
my
sit for a while,
God.
and so you've got a brine and you've got your liquor. It's
You are
perfectly infused.
amazing. You just
Ready?
blow me away every time.
Well, this was so fun, and I had all I could do not to text this picture to you that I did.
And
So anyway,
PB's the tomato. She's the tomato. I'm the vodka, and you're the gin.
there you go. So you take 2 ounces of your infused gin or vodka or combination, whichever you prefer.
Wow,
Every
that's going to
time
be
he does
strong and
this,
tasty. I know, I
every
always
time he
lean
does this,
forward,
I'm leaning over so I can see
Like
what
you could
he's
really
trying.
see, right?
I know.
but we still try
And then you
after.
We
take your
still try.
brine, and that is 1.5 ounces, or a little more if you like more. People in the chat going like, sounds terrible.
I don't know. It
And then a
sounds
splash of dry
pretty
vermouth.
good.
A
Sounds kind
A
of
splash of
exquisite. You said dry
tablespoon.
vermouth, right?
Yep,
dry
splash
vermouth.
of dry
Yeah.
vermouth. And then you just got to really stir it up in ice. Let it go. You got to really blend the flavors together because they separate a little bit in the jar. But when you really want to stir them up and stir them up and stir them up, uh, and then you pour it into your glass. Hopefully, without spilling it all over the place.
Yeah, if we lose you, we'll know what happened.
You will. You'll know exactly what happened. And here we have, ta-da, the tomato martini.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
That looks really good.
It's
It
delicious. I cannot. I wish I could. It is so delicious. I thought, well, I don't know about this, but when I tasted it the first time, I'm like, give me them all. Give me them all. Anyway, here's
Yum.
to your award-winning.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Ron.
Cheers to the AAMBC Book Club of the Year.
Boom, boom, boom.
Mm,
Ooh, child.
And that is
yeah,
that
that's Woo
drink is
Child is
magazine
right.
worthy.
So that
I know.
is the
Gosh,
tomato martini.
that is sounds just fabulous. I'm not even big on tomatoes, but
Yeah,
I like some tomato. I would like that.
you would like this.
I would.
Maybe I'll make you one summer.
Yeah.
Just to think
Ah,
Anytime
how
you can.
fresh tomatoes that you grew is amazing. I
oh
love
my
tomato
God.
I
pie,
know.
Oh, tomato pie, tomato sandwiches, tomato anything.
tomato soup, anything.
Tomato
MKA has a good
salad.
tomato pie recipe
Yes,
in her
she
cookbook.
does. In the Beach House
Hmm.
Cookbook. I have made it. I love it.
So good.
Yep.
Well, since we're celebrating 4 years, how about you guys? Well, we'll share favorite memory, a book club memory over the past year, or you can do it from the 4 years. And then for those watching, you can share some of your favorite memories in the chat, and we will share some throughout the night.
Oh, and I'll read them later. I can't see the comments, so
Right.
I will look at them later.
Okay.
Brenda, do you want to kick us off?
I absolutely can kick us off. And I'm excited to read what our book club members are going to say too. So thank y'all for joining us tonight. And we want to hear from you. I'm gonna set aside the AAMBC awards because as most people know, I had COVID and got sidelined from attending. And I was trying to think what my favorite moment was, and there were a lot. So I'm going to kind of give you two. One was an in-person um, Savannah Book Festival weekend that we
Hmm.
went to together, and there were just some great sessions. We met some wonderful authors, and it was just an all-around great weekend. Um, I also have to say, I just really was mesmerized by Tia Williams when we had her on to talk about a love song for Ricky Wilde. It was just
Yeah,
something.
that was a great book club discussion. Yeah, she mesmerizing is the right word because I felt mesmerized by her as well. And
As was the novel.
not just by her beauty, by her talent and her writing. I mean, she's gorgeous too,
Exactly.
obviously, but it's so much more than that. So yeah, I agree. And I agree too with the Savannah trip. And that was also the first time we got to meet Molly in person, our admin.
Yes.
And we
Hey,
hung
Molly.
out with a lot of really fun book club members, and Anissa was there, and it was really cool to have those connections with book club members. So that was cool. But as Brenda mentioned, I think for me, the biggest moment in the past year was winning the AAMVC award. And although PB was not there next to me, she was with me on the phone by FaceTime, and I may have dropped her in Amber's lap when we won because I was shocked. But getting up on that stage and looking out into that crowd and hearing people clap for us and cheer for us and truly be excited for us while I did my best to deliver an unwritten speech. Um, it was just a moment I'll never forget. That's all I can say. I felt like I was out of my mind in that moment. I was so nervous. And I was thinking about Brenda and I was like, can she see? Can she hear? And I had my little flat Brenda, but she was in the chair and I was just like, it's just too much
I'm
going
kind of
on. I
glad
was,
you didn't take Flat Brenda with you to the podium.
well, even if I did, you wouldn't have been able to see you because I was so short, you could barely see me.
That's true. We could see right here.
Thank goodness the angle we got was from the side because my mom and Amber's angle, it was like this over the podium. Saw
And
my
that's the
head.
one I was referring to because that's the part I saw on the phone.
So you would have been like down here like this.
You're too much. That speech was wonderful, by the way.
It
Thank
was
you.
heartfelt.
From the
And I
heart.
thanked you, Ron. And I
I
thanked it.
I
Yeah, I tried.
heard.
It was truly from the heart. I couldn't remember. I was glad I could watch it back because I couldn't remember what I said. But yeah. So I think that was my favorite moment of past year. We've had a lot of good ones. What about you,
Oh,
Ron?
Well, there's way too many. I mean, this is always such a blast. Um, I, 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 I don't. Probably because it's the freshest in my mind was having Victoria Benton-Frank. It was.
That was fun
I felt like
too.
we took over the fraternity and had a big old party in the sorority house. We just
That
kind
I
was
of
know
took
so
that
over.
one was
fun.
on my top list too,
Yeah,
Ron.
it was
Yeah.
really, really, really fun, and she's lovely and funny, and we just let it loose.
And she was awesome because that was the night we had a couple technical difficulties
Yeah.
and she hung in there. That was really fun. That was a great night. Yeah. Oh, that's so good. So in the chat, there are quite a few. Um, Maria Lou says our Halloween brunch in New York City,
Mm,
meeting Lisa and Brenda, or meeting Lisa and seeing Brenda again, celebrating the Zibby win. That was an awesome
that was
afternoon, one of
awesome.
my favorites too. Yep. And Diane says, oh, she was asking about captions. She was able to find that, sorry. Brenda Gaskell said the Savannah Book Festival in 2022 was a lot of fun. We were at that one as well, and we got to hang out with Brenda.
Yes.
That was a lot of fun. Jill Malia agrees about the New York City brunch, our New York girls. Um, let's see. Michelle said any opportunity to meet friends from Friends in Fiction. And it was amazing, especially with meeting Lisa and Brenda. Oh, thanks, Michelle.
Yes, that
Um,
certainly was a highlight over the last 4 years. That was one of my
yeah,
top ones.
for
That
sure. That
weekend
was
was
another one.
just unbelievable.
Yeah. People, you keep sharing they're going by kind of fast. I'm trying to pick them, but keep sharing your memories and we'll pull some
Yes.
throughout the night. But thank you for all the kind words about the awards and the speech. I see them and I'll respond later.
Okay.
And
Well, you know
everyone
what,
is
Lisa?
freaking out over your tomato martini, Ron, just
What?
FYI.
You're going to
They're
have to
freaking
post.
out
Oh,
over
did
it.
you take a photo? You'll have to take a photo. Um,
Yeah.
well, I think it's time for our special surprise guest, None Your Business, to show up.
Yay! I
None
love
your
So
Nunya.
business. Who's
let's
none your
have a
business?
Big round
Nunya
of,
is one of our
of
favorite people.
applause
Ah!
for None Your Business, Kristin Harrmel.
Oh, hi. Is this
Oh,
the award-winning book club?
yes, it is.
That serves
Hi,
that
Kristin.
serves tomato martinis at their happy hours.
That
I
would
am all
be
in.
probably the only one.
Oh, come on.
This is all good, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God, Ron, that looks so good.
It's
Doesn't it?
delicious.
Why-
I will make
Why
you.
are you not here making me one now?
I would do it. You
know.
wouldn't believe how really, really delicious it is. I can't even describe it. I'm shocked. I didn't expect it to be so good.
Oh, that sounds so good. So, I missed the very beginning. It's tomato and what? It's
So it's actually fresh tomatoes, and you
Okay.
grind them on a box grater. You take
Okay.
pulp and you put it in with gin, like
Okay.
16 ounces of gin, and let it infuse overnight. Then you take some tomato and then the tomato juice from the thing, and then you put that in brine with bread and butter, pickle juice, olive
got it.
juice, and
Right.
hot and pickled pepper, hot pepper juice, and let that sit. And then you mix that together with a splash of dry vermouth, and you're in.
What I'm hearing is it's full of fruits and vegetables, and
Right.
so
So
it's
it's
Right.
healthy.
healthy.
It's full of health.
It's totally
essentially the
healthy.
same thing as having a daily smoothie, but with gin, which I fully support.
Yes, there you go. There you go. That's awesome.
Love it.
Well, hi guys.
Hello, Kristin. Good to
Hello.
see
Thank
you.
you for joining us.
Oh, thanks for inviting me. How's your happy hour going?
Good.
Going well.
Better now.
The funny
It's
thing
always
is
good to see you.
we haven't done any book recommendations yet.
Well,
We've
I
been-
got plenty. I got
We're
plenty.
coming.
That's great. And I do have to tell you though, I had to just smile when Ron was asking us beforehand who None Your Business was, of course. And he has a recommendation I'm sure that he's going to do where Ron Block and Kristin Harrmel both gave blurbs, and I was just going,
Right.
I know
Interesting.
exactly what that's going to be.
He
He
does.
said your name and we were like, he was, wondering who it was. And he said your name and we're like, you
Who
don't
knows?
know.
We don't know. We don't know.
Rana, I think my favorite thing about that blurb was that you were listed as a Friends in Fiction co-host and I was not. So
I know.
was like,
Where did that come
okay.
from? That was so weird. That was usually it's me just as the library,
No, but you were Friends in
That's
Fiction
so
co-host, and I
funny.
was just like, some chick says this book
well,
is
you-
good.
some chick that
Just
liked
a
the
New
book.
York, just a New York Times bestselling author.
Yeah,
That's
just that. Just that. That is pretty
Well,
funny.
Kristen, since we're gonna start and you have some, do you want to kick off some book recommendations?
Yes, I have a few for you. So one just came out last week and just hit the New York Times bestseller list yesterday. She's been on Friends in Fiction before, but it's been a little while. TJ Newman, it's her third book,
yeah.
Worst Case Scenario, however you say that word. It's really, really, really good. So TJ met the Friends in Fiction authors, and I think Brenda and Lisa, and I know Ron, you were there, but Brenda and Lisa, I think
Yeah.
you were there too. It was the Savannah
Yeah.
Book Festival
Yeah.
a
Mhm.
couple of years ago. So we just really like her. Like she's a really nice person. She's an
Yeah.
amazing author. So when she sent this book along, it wasn't anything attached to the show. We weren't having her on. But I read it because I was like, I like TJ. I'd like to see what her book is. And I could not put it down. So she's a
Ooh.
former flight attendant. She is known for writing books about plane crashes. Her first two books, Falling and Drowning, were both about plane crashes. This third
Ooh.
one begins with a plane crash, but it's not about the plane crash. A plane crashes into a nuclear facility in the middle of the country. And it is about the nuclear facility preventing basically a catastrophe that could destroy the entire world. So it begins with a plane crash, but the plane crash is really only in the first chapter. So it's on brand for her, but it's also a departure for her. And it is just like the other two books she's written, just a pulse pounding, like, oh my gosh, like, and there's so many viewpoint characters, and you get so emotionally invested in all of them. And just like her two previous books, I believe this one has been optioned for quite a lot of money for a film. So I think,
Wow.
Hollywood's always a few years behind publishing, but I think we're about to get to the start of like the TJ Newman blockbuster films. And so this is a great way to be like, oh, I was reading TJ Newman way before the movies were out. So,
That'll right.
yeah, so TJ Newman, worst case scenario, and she is a friend of Friends in Fiction, and we are going to be seeing her actually in Winston-Salem, North Carolina in September for the Bookmarks
Yay.
Festival. She's going to be
Oh,
there.
good,
So
good.
Oh,
that is one.
cool.
Another, which you guys may have already talked about because it's a month or two old, is Until Next Summer by Allie Brady. And
Oh,
I would have shown you TJ's book, but I loaned it to my next door neighbor who loves thrillers. So he's currently
Just go
reading
get
it.
it back.
Yeah, exactly, right? So Until Next Summer by Allie Brady. So Allie Brady is Allison Hammer and Brady Godfrey. They're two best friends. They write together.
yeah.
And this book, if you read Christie's The Summer of Songbirds last summer, this is like a great follow-up. The books are not similar, but they both take place in that camp world with like adults revisiting their camp days. And it's really, really, really good. Allison Hammer is a longtime friend of mine. We've probably known each other for 30 years. Like before both of us were writers. We
Wow.
knew each other going to Sister Hazel concerts in Gainesville.
Really?
So yes, so I'm so proud of her. She's like I love her. I've known her forever, and this truly is a fantastic book. Until Next Summer. I have two more. One of which is
Wow,
out, one
okay.
of which is coming. Is that okay? Did you mind?
Yes.
Bring it on.
Okay, so this one
You're-
is out.
You're doing great.
Yay! I came prepared. I understood the
taking notes.
assignments. I showed up. This one, The Glassmaker. It's already out,
Ooh.
I believe. I think it is out. I'm not positive. I think it's out. By Tracy Chevalier, who also wrote The Girl with the Pearl Earring, which was turned into a movie, which was a big hit a while ago. So this was a book I read early for a blurb. You can actually see my little blurb at the bottom here. If you buy this book, you can see.
Oh, there it is.
So like, I'm not lying. And it says, in the Venice of the glassmaker, time moves differently with hundreds of years passing in the blink of an eye. It's like nothing I've ever read. It is
Ooh.
these characters who live in Venice who make glass, or actually they live in Murano, the island right by Venice. They make glass, but time moves differently for them. So this one woman who's at the center of the book lives through centuries while the rest of the world keeps going on. And if you leave Murano, your life goes at a normal pace. So it's about the heartbreak of like falling in love with somebody who leaves Murano, and like you don't know what happened to him, but then you find out like he died hundreds of years ago because his life has moved at a different pace than yours. But it says, when one has the chance to live for centuries, love and loss seem to cut more deeply, and the winds of change never stop blowing, which means that the ground is constantly shifting beneath the feet of Chevalier's perfectly drawn characters. It was inspiring, heartbreaking, and magical. The Glassmaker is an inventive and extraordinary feat and an epic for the ages. I loved this book. Loved it. So The
Ooh.
Glassmaker, it is historical fiction like you've never read before because of that really cool twist of
Yes.
these characters on the
I-
island of Murano living for centuries.
I love that cover. It's
you
perfect for the Murano
Gorgeous,
glass.
right?
Yeah, it's
So
really
it's
nice.
so pretty, but it's such a unique concept. And like the characters aren't invincible. People die. People die on Murano. People die early on Murano. But like it is like just the span of life takes longer. It's such a cool concept. So The Glassmaker by Tracy Chevalier. And finally, I'm going to give you one that comes out not until March, but it's called The Trouble with Anna.
Ooh.
And this comes to me because it was recommended to me at two completely separate times by my agent, Holly Root, and by my editor, Abby Zeidel, both of whom have worked on this book. It's out in March. It is a debut for a woman named Rachel Griffiths. She was most recently an editor at Scholastic, where she has published multiple New York Times bestsellers, written by other people. But it is a
Nice.
historical that involves horses. So I'll just quickly read you the description and then you guys can get rid of me. I'm sorry, I'm talking so much. But it says,
Oh, we love
Oh,
it.
are you
okay,
kidding?
it just
Yes.
it looks really good. So The Trouble with Anna. Lady Anna didn't intend to ride in a high-stakes horse race or start up a betting ring. She certainly didn't mean to find herself in so many dark and corners with Lord Julian Ramsay, quarreling and
Mm.
kissing. But when her grandfather's strange will stipulates that Anna must marry or she'll be left broke, there's nothing she won't do to win her fight for independence. Even go head to head with Lord Ramsay with her own heart as the prize. A tart young woman and an arrogant lord collide in this sparkling, sexy, and remarkably modern historical romance. So it's like a sexy romance, like centered around like horseback riding and like horses and like that whole world. So it looks awesome. It sounds awesome. My
Sounds
editor's in love
good.
with it. My agent's in love with it.
Love the
So we'll
cover.
trouble with
Love
Anna,
the
I
cover.
right?
love the cover too.
Yes. Yes. Those are my
Yay.
recommendations.
Those are great book recommendations.
I
I
know.
asked.
I know.
Well, there goes worst case scenario off my pile. I loved that book with you, Chris. That was so page turner, and I think she's gotten like braver at setting it up, and the way she sets the town up, and the
Yes.
people that live there, and just I couldn't stop it. Like you, I like every page was like, what's
You know, she's so talented. And I feel like a lot of people who kind of explode onto the scene, like she did, like her first
yeah,
book arrived with a ton of acclaim. She got a huge advance, she got a huge film deal. I think a lot of people who that happens to, kind of flame out because they buy into their own
right?
hype, or like they
Not
Yes.
that one.
like there are a lot of reasons, right? TJ's not one of those people. I think TJ's her writing name. She goes by Tori. So Tori is not one of those people. She is a decent, kind, good human being who I
Yeah,
think works
she's
hard, who's humble, who understands where she came from, who understands that who's just trying to learn and become better. And I think every book, like you said, Ron, has been better than the last.
Yeah,
And this book's phenomenal. It's so good, and she's so talented. She really
yeah.
is.
And what a great guest she was. The story she
yeah.
told about her research and just how she
Well, and this one is so research driven too. Her author's note
yes.
in the back is so interesting. I really cannot wait to catch up with her in Winston-Salem, North Carolina in September and just pick her brain about some of the decisions she made in that book, because they're so interesting to me.
Like, sit down. We have questions for you.
Yes.
Yeah, like I have to tell you guys, not everybody survives, but like it's really sad and really hard, but like they were like the right choices for her as an author. But it's like gut-wrenching to read. I mean, she just did such a great job with it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Awesome.
Yay. Oh, those are great.
Yeah, thanks.
Those are awesome. I can't wait to put her new one on my list.
Do it.
Yeah, I'll have to. If you don't end up with it yourself, I'll bring it with me to North Carolina and bring it to you, Brenda.
Deal.
All right.
Deal.
Gold.
Well, Kristin, we know you're going to have to leave us in a couple minutes, but we are kind of doing a combo happy hour and 4-year anniversary celebration. So we've been sharing a few of our favorite memories over the past year from book club, and wondered if you wouldn't mind sharing one, or if not this year, in general, over that
Oh my
this
gosh. Well,
roller coaster of a 4 years.
I have so many. So on my own personal author side, I think it's just been the way you guys have embraced me and embraced the other authors of Friends in Fiction too. I mean, you have been so supportive of all four of us, and that is we certainly do not say it enough to you or to the members of the book club, but we never forget it. We never overlook it. We never take it for granted. I mean, you guys are yeah, you're the wind beneath our wings. We just had an interview with the magazine today. The four of us did. And that's what we spent half the time talking about, was what it's like to go out in the world and meet the people who you interact with online this way. And so many of them are members
Yeah.
of the book club. So many of them are the people who you two bring together. So I mean, I can think of like Bubba holding up balloons, and there's just so many. Yeah. So it's
And
incredible.
decorating her camper.
Yeah, and decorating her camper, exactly. But I'll also say a couple of other favorite memories. One is the recent one of you guys winning that amazing award, and Lisa going up and giving the acceptance speech. And I know, Brenda, you weren't there, but you were there in spirit. I felt that because that was when I had to miss out on Rehoboth Beach a year ago because I had COVID and yeah. So I
Mhm.
understood what how that feels like to be at home when you feel like you should be somewhere else. And I wish you were there too. But
Yeah.
Lisa, it was such a beautiful speech. I was so proud of you. I was so proud of you
Oh,
both.
thank you.
And also you looked really gorgeous. So
Oh,
there's that.
Yes, she did.
But finally I will say that one of my favorite book club memories is just the interaction I get to have with the two of you that is not in public, is not online, like because I'm like the of the four friends and fiction authors, I'm the one who's like the liaison to the book club, so I probably work the most closely with you guys.
Mhm.
And sometimes we'll
yeah.
just hop on a Zoom and you'll talk about the things that are good and the things you're concerned about and the upcoming guests and just to talk through that with you and to see how dedicated you are and committed you are and passionate you are and how much you
Oh,
care about this. I just it just reminds me again and again and again, every single time we have those conversations, what great friends you are, what great people you are, how lucky I personally am to have you both in my life,
Oh,
how lucky
I'm
all
gonna
of the friends and
cry.
fiction
I was
authors
gonna
are to
say
have
we're
you in
both
our
gonna cry.
lives. No, you're just you are a gift to us. You're a gift to our community. You're a gift to readers. And I think you've been recognized for that publicly now a couple of times, with the Zibby Awards and with it's the AAMBC, African
Yes.
Americans on the Move Book Club, right? I think that's what it is. AAM. But I wasn't saying it earlier because I'm like I forget the acronym, but yeah. So
That was
but
right.
okay, good. Phew. But with those, I mean, you've been recognized publicly with those two very wonderful awards. But I just hope people realize that behind the scenes, you are just as kind, just as dedicated, just as passionate about reading, just as concerned about making sure that the people who rely on you for book recommendations are getting exactly the right recommendations. You work so hard. Um, and all of us are so grateful for you. And so that's probably my favorite
Oh,
book club memory, just knowing, and it's a memory that's ongoing because I know we'll get on a call again soon and it'll be the same thing. So I love you guys. Congratulations on 4 years. And also,
oh.
Ron, I love you. I didn't mean to leave you out of that. You're
This
just
is their time. This is their time.
I'm not
I
crying,
echo it
you're
all.
crying.
I know. I'm trying not to cry, and we love you,
Kristen,
and
that took
I love you, Kristen, and we're grateful for
emotional
you and
turn.
everything you do with us and work with us.
Absolutely.
And I've always loved, my love runs deep for Kristen
well,
Yes.
you and I
Harrmel
have known
since
Thanks
each
so
other a
much,
lot of years,
Kristen.
2009.
Lisa. We go way back. But
So thank you.
I really do love you guys so much and you do a great job and we're so lucky to have you.
Oh,
Oh,
thank
thank
you. We
you.
love you
So
too, and
beautifully
the other
said,
authors
Kristen.
and our
Yeah.
whole book club community. It's really rather astonishing
It is.
how people are scattered all over. And
Yeah.
y'all are now the kind of the little messengers that the authors are out doing the tours. And so you're, going out
Yeah.
and seeing us when we can't see each other sometimes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So if you have any messages that you'd like us to deliver to people, we're on it.
Oh,
Well,
goodness.
thank you so much
Oh,
for joining us, Kristen, and spending
yes.
some time with us
Thank you for
tonight.
inviting me. That was so fun and happy fourth anniversary. Congratulations on everything, ladies.
Thank
And
you.
also Ron.
Thank you,
Okay.
Kristen. Have a great rest of the
I'm
evening.
gonna go crush some tomatoes into gin and hope for the best.
Yes, yes.
Can also do vodka.
She's a gin.
There's a
She's my
big
gin.
I
vodka
am a
gin war
gin,
going
gin
on.
girl. I'm a gin girl. Yep. All right. Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye
Take
bye,
care.
Kristen. Take
Bye.
care.
Bye.
Well, my heart is full, and
Hey,
I was not
that's a
expecting
wrap.
that.
Good night, everybody.
I was going to
I know,
say,
right? Oh,
not only was that really emotional, I'm just going to not even try to do a book, a recommendation after Kristen's.
no, that means it's on you, Ron.
I got you. I got you. I
Got a
really was good.
couple, but I mean,
I did have worst case scenario here, but boy, she sold it. She sold it. It was good.
She sold
she
it for
did.
I don't need to
sure.
add a thing to it. Amazing. But as you alluded to
Oh,
earlier, I have first up one of the early copies in Galley of Nancy Johnson, our lovely Nancy Johnson's new book, People of Means. Look at that gorgeous cover.
It
I
is
love
gorgeous.
it.
I
I
love
love
it.
Nancy. I love everything about it. I can't wait to read it.
It's unbelievably strong. You know, Nancy always writes about race and class, and she
Hmm.
certainly doesn't skimp on this one. She goes deeper than she did in Kindest Lies. She's got a dual
Mm.
timeline thing with Frida, who's a young woman who goes to an HBCU college in Nashville as a young person, and just at the beginning of the civil rights movement. And she brings in all these characters. Like John Lewis and things. And when she writes so vividly about what was going on at the time, it struck me more than anything was the sit-ins at the lunch counters in the stores in Nashville. And you know, I've heard about some of these things, but to actually get a deep dive into them from her just makes you feel like you're there and witnessing it all over again. And it's just so realistic and amazing. But that's timed with Frida's daughter later in life, Tulip, who's a woman who works in advertising and promotion, and she's also going through some things because right after the Rodney King issue that happened in thing, and so it kind of illustrates how even though times have changed and places have changed, things are really the same. There's really not a lot of difference. But at the end of the
Yeah.
day, though, like the story that she weaves about these families and how they've gotten to where they are, and I don't want to give anything away because you're going to want to read every word of this thing. It
Oh, I
comes out in
bet.
February. Her writing is so powerful, and as you also said, there's Kristin's blurb on the back and Ron's blurb on the back. So
The
I
Friends
we
and
love
Fiction
that.
co-host, Ron.
I totally I texted her. I said, "Oh look, we're blurb mates."
Well,
That was
you blurbed her debut as well, didn't you?
yes, I think I did. But you know, it's always such an honor to be asked because like I know that Patty and Kristin and Mary Kay and Christy get asked a lot, and they do such great work helping other authors get their work off the ground, and it's so inspiring. I'm just starting to get asked to do these things. It's just such an honor for me to
It's
do
awesome.
that. So I am thrilled about this. And this
Well,
book,
we are thrilled for you. That's
we are going to be
amazing.
screaming about this book for up until it
Oh
goes
yeah.
pre-order, 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 because I have a
Yeah.
feeling it's going to be one of those things that's going to be hard to get at pub date because there's so many pre-orders. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's going to get big hype. Cover's amazing. The colors are great. Nancy's great. We had a long
I've
chat about
pre-ordered
the
mine
book.
already.
We had a long chat about the book, and I had to text her right afterwards. Said we didn't even talk about the title, what People of Means means, and there's so much meaning to that title. So it's just you know what does we traditionally think of people of means with a lot of money, a lot of
Right.
opulence in their life, but this is way deep. There's
Oh,
some
oh, can't wait.
amazing, amazing characters in that. You're just gonna love.
Very cool.
Okay, ready for the next one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. This is one now. I don't know if anybody remembers last year I was screaming about a book called Take My Husband by Ellen Meister. And it was about the woman who after COVID, her husband was kind of a schlub, and but she tells the story about
It's
getting through
love.
COVID and all of the different funky characters in her book. Well, she's got a new one coming out, and it comes out next week, and it's called Divorce Town.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And one of the things I absolutely love about Ellen is her sense of humor. Like she can spin a thing like nothing else. Okay, ready for this? Addison Torres is a young woman who is works in the Bronx. She is a matchmaker for a company that's known and they're high prestige and they're wealthy. But and she's engaged to a man who, unfortunately, she ends up getting really close to one of her clients. And so she ends up like her shutting down her whole life. Her life shatters. And she ends up the only way that she can be saved is her rich uncle is going to take her out to LA to be the concierge in this divorce tower. And this is a place where all the rich and elite people go when their marriages fall apart and they all live there. So everybody in the building is this But here's the kicker. Addison, after what she did to herself, decides she's going to be celibate for a year. She's not going to do anything. So she imagine her going, and it's just hysterical. And this one line I had to read. It's like Addison was a genius at finding matches for other people, but when it comes to herself, she's about as sharp as a soup. Made me laugh out loud, and I'm like, the whole book is just full of lines like that, and it's just such great writing. And it comes out next week, and I rom-com.
Yay.
It's story, and I'm not going to tell you much about the story because the story about the people that intermingles with in the towers is just gotta read it for yourself. But put that on your list. And if you are an Amazon Prime First Reads member, this is one of the choices for August. So you can get it on Kindle and you don't have to pay for it. You can get it for free.
Oh.
And
I wish I saw this earlier. I literally just picked mine this morning, and I got the Ellen Hildebrand one.
You might be able to get this one on top of that because it's a short one.
Okay.
You might still be
Okay.
able to go
I'll
back
have
and
to
get
double
this.
check.
I recommend everybody. This needs to be your choice on Amazon First Reads this month.
Nice.
Go for
Well,
it.
I'm picking that one.
Yeah.
It's a little racy, but it's still good.
Okay.
Okay,
Brenda, do you want to give us two?
I will.
Then I'll
I
give
almost
two.
want to just defer to Ron and Kristen and
I
say, I'll
know.
just take it.
Look,
No, but
I'm gonna be
you know,
super quick with mine.
mine's going to be quick too. But I do have to tell you, you know how I have a soft spot for any book that says library, book club, bookstore in the title. I mean, that's just
Yep,
from the get
that's
go.
your
I'm
thing.
having to share this on my phone, but it is The Library of Borrowed Hearts by Lucy Gilmore. And it came out in April,
Ooh.
the end of April. But it's been compared to kind of a cross between the storied life of A.J. Thickery and the bookish life of Nina Hill. I think it's really more like the bookish life, but I'm just getting into it now, like in the first few chapters. The main character, Chloe, works at a library and she's schlepping around the basement, cleaning out old books, and comes across a book that has some romantic notes between two people in it. And it's a first edition, so she wants to try to make some money off of it, but it's a dual timeline with a 60-year, romance in it. And her grumpy next door neighbor is involved. And so that's my first pick. And then my second pick, yay! My second pick, I do not have a copy of. It is out September 10th, and it's by Leanne Moriarty, called Here One Moment. I know some of our readers probably have read. My favorite one is What Alice Forgot from Leanne Moriarty. Don't know if anyone else has read that, but she's done Apples Never Fall and Nine Perfect Strangers, all of which are really good. But when Kristin mentioned the plane crash, I thought it was funny because this story is about the passengers on an airplane who, in midair, this kind of quirky woman that nobody saw get on the plane starts foretelling their future and telling them exactly when they're going to die.
Ooh.
And so the first couple of them start coming to pass, and it's kind of a, I don't know, it's kind of a story about free will versus destiny and grief and love and mystery.
Yeah. They're asking in the chat, they're saying, can you hold the book up again?
Oh, the other book?
Yeah.
Actually, I think
And
I think I can share it. Let me try to do that.
or just repeat the title.
Okay, The Library of Borrowed Hearts by Lucy Gilmore. And then the second one was Leanne Moriarty's Here One Moment.
Okay.
You know,
And
she's
we'll
going
post
to
these.
be a guest
Yeah.
upcoming on Friends in Fiction.
Yay. Can't wait for that.
As is Madeline Martin next week, who wrote The Book Lovers Library, which, Brenda, you would love.
Yes.
That's right up your alley.
Mhm.
So my
Right, Lisa,
two,
what about you?
My first one is The Great Hemisphere by Matteo Aschiapor, who we all love. His first book, or his debut novel, Black Buck, took off and was a read with Jenna Pick and New York Times bestseller. And this book is very different from that. It's described as a wildly imaginative novel bursting with cinematic fervor. And I wanted to read this quote by Britt Bennett. The Great Hemisphere is an inventive and immersive epic, follows its brave, invisible protagonist as she navigates a futuristic new world that often mirrors our own, a thrilling page turner. So the protagonist is a woman who's invisible. And I've heard nothing but
Wow.
great things. I cannot wait to dive in. Mateo's writing is just as beautiful as his spoken word. He's super talented. So
And he's such
it's
a
out now.
lovely person too. He's such a
Yeah.
great dude.
He
He was
is.
just here in Cleveland, and we were supposed to connect, and I had a work thing that came up at the last minute. And I was so mad that we didn't get to connect. And,
Yeah,
yeah,
that was the next night he left here and came there because I was like, oh, you're going from me to Ron.
See, that's what I'm saying. But people are connecting all over.
Like
all
the
over the
next
place.
night.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is one that you definitely want to pick up, and it is available now. The second book I'm super excited about. I'm gonna share my screen here in just a second, but I can go ahead and start talking about it. It's called Don't Be a Ta, which stands for Typical Ass Woman. And it's how to avoid how to avoid the decisions and habits of a typical ass woman to get the man you want to want you. And it's the volume one, and the volume one is Reclaiming Your Feminine Power. It's by Dr. Stacy J. Johnson, who I had the pleasure of meeting at the AAMBC Awards, and she was being honored that night. And she is the relationship coach on on a show on OWN, and she has a lot of clients that are married, but she helps single women reclaim their power. And I was like, okay, I need to read this book. So I bought it and I'm going through it now, and it's so much more than just a book. It's like a guide, and it helps you learn things about yourself. And even though it says the title, if you're married or in a relationship, you shouldn't let that deter you from reading this book or her other books, because it is a guide about learning more about yourself. And you go through it, and each chapter takes you through something to learn more about yourself, reclaim your feminine power. And I'm in love with her. I'm going to read all of her books. So you should definitely look her up. I'm going to share my screen if I'm having some issues here. Oh, here. There's
Don't be a
there's the
tall.
cover. And yeah, it's definitely eye-opening. I am a single lady and I do want to find a man, but it's just so much more than that. So check it out. And it's volume one, so I think it's going to be a three-part series.
Wow.
And definitely look her up and follow her. And I'll tell you the name of I don't want to say the wrong name. I think the name of the show on OWN is Put a Ring on It is the name of the show. But if Oprah
That's
hires her
funny.
as a relationship expert, hey, she's somebody that you want to know. Okay, those were my two. And I think we're at the part, I think since we're running or going by so quickly, we should just go ahead and announce the rest of our season all together. We were going to split it up, but do you want to
Yeah,
do
but
that?
our hour is flying by. But yes, I'll be happy
Way
to
too
announce
fast.
the October pick. Very excited about this one. House of
Oh,
Glass with
I love
Sarah.
Sarah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
October 21st. We're so excited about this one. Can't wait to read it.
Yay.
All right. I
Good.
stopped sharing on that one.
And our next book club recommend or our book club discussion is November. And we're going to be doing The Fabled Earth
Oh,
by
a house of glass. Oh,
our dear friend, Kimberly Brock, who is watching us live. Hi,
hi,
Shout out to
Kimberly.
Kim.
Mhm.
we're
Thanks for
so excited
watching.
for this.
I'm excited. I'm starting to see a lot of buzz about the book and a lot of people talking about it. It's bubbling
Oh,
up.
yeah.
It's going to
It's
be
getting
good.
great reviews. Yeah, I can't wait. And then on December 5th, we have our next happy hour with Ron Block and a special guest. But get this, Ron is getting the special guest, and me and Brenda have no idea who it is. So the tables have turned.
That's right. It's going to be none of your business for us.
It's
It's
going to be none of your
it's
business.
it's
We will.
RuPaul.
RuPaul has a book
Hmm.
club now. So.
I know.
And to round out the year, we are super excited about our December
Yes.
book club pick. We cannot believe we're having this person on. She is the queen of Christmas. We are going to be doing Christmas Duet with Debbie McElmer.
And she's such a delight. You're going to have so much fun with
So
We are very
excited. She said
excited.
yes.
Yes, we are very excited. And that's on December 16th. All of our book club discussions are at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and our happy hour on December 5th is at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And that, folks, is the rest of our year. We hope you love it as much as we do. Let us know in the chat.
Absolutely, please.
So,
her. Okay.
coming up next on the schedule. I guess I can do it. Well, I will do a quick reminder of our reading challenge.
Yes.
And it's headed up by Anissa Armstrong, who is one of the moderators on our page. And she always gives great recommendations. But the prompt for August was to read a book that inspired a TV show or a movie. So I read Black Cake. Well, I'm currently reading Black Cake by Charmaine Wilkerson. What about you, Brenda?
Well, I'm going with an oldie but a goodie, but I love this book. It's A Walk in the Woods by Bill Bryson, and you can
Oh,
see how dog-eared it is. I've read it several times, but I'm rereading it this month because it's just the funniest book I have ever read. It makes me spew my beverage. And it was made into a movie, which I have to say I don't like as much as the book, of course.
that's usually the case. Ron, do
Fabulous.
you have a favorite book that inspired a movie or
Well,
TV show?
I'm actually really excited. I'm reading this book again because I read it 5 or 6 years ago, and I always said back then this needs to be a movie or TV show. And I thought, and then I gave up because I never thought it was. Then suddenly in October, Apple TV has filmed
Oh, yes.
Disclaimer. And if you don't know Disclaimer, the show has actually got Kate Blanchett in it and
Yes, I
Kevin
saw the
Kline.
trailer.
But the
I'm
book
writing it down.
was so beautiful last time. The book is okay. Imagine you're a writer and you've moved to a new place. There's a stack of books that show up at your door, and you go through them and you kind of pick through them, and you pick up a book, and it's the story of the worst thing you've ever done in your life.
Oh, boy.
And then you realize that somebody wrote it. There, you don't know who it is, and they wrote this book, and they're after. That's how it all starts.
Mm.
Book was by Renee Knight, and it's so good.
Wow.
Oh, you know, when I saw it, I thought the show looked like it was going to be amazing, but I didn't realize it was based on I should have known.
Oh
Whenever
God, it
things look
was
amazing, they're usually based on.
so good. Put that on your list.
Oh, for sure. That's a great one. Um, the September prompt is to read a true crime book, and we have not selected ours. So if you guys have any recommendations, put them in the chat.
Yes, please.
Okay, Ron, do you want to do another quick recommendation?
I will do my very best. All right, so this is a book that came out in April, and it got starred reviews from every place you can possibly think of. But I don't believe hardly anyone has heard of this book. And it's not
Oh,
my typical book, but I had to do an interview. So I had to read the book. But then I was like floored by it. It's called A Short Walk Through a Wide World. And it's a
oh
debut by Douglas Westerbeek. Do you know it?
no, but
No, but I
I
love
love
the
the
title.
font and the
Oh,
cover.
okay.
I
So
love all of that.
this young girl, Aubrey Tourvet, it's in Paris in 1885. She comes across a wooden puzzle ball, won't leave her alone. It ends up in her bag and it follows her home and it just appears. And suddenly one day she's sitting at dinner with her family and she suddenly gets violently ill and starts bleeding all over the place. They try
Oh
to
my
get her to a
gosh.
doctor. When they get her to the doctor, she stops. So she gets sent back home and starts bleeding again. And then she runs away. So it starts to dawn on everybody that she has to keep moving to stay alive. Otherwise, she'll bleed to death. And this book
Oh
goes
Oh
my
my
over like
gosh.
gosh.
85 years of her having to go everywhere in the world and all the adventures she has just to stay alive and how she comes close at different places and she can't get really close to anyone because gotta go. And it's just phenomenal. And she travels all over the world, so you learn about all these places everywhere, and you try to figure out how is she going to, get to the end. And the people that she meets are just so interesting and they're so fascinating, and everybody wants to help her. Everybody wants to help her try to find out what's wrong and stop it from happening. And so you just have to read it to find out how it all comes together. Isn't that
Ooh, that
cool?
sounds good.
It's
It
beautifully written,
does.
and it's like I said, it's not my usual kind of book, but I loved it. One more,
Wow.
one more quickie. One more quickie.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sure.
All right.
We always go over by a little bit.
I
It's
know.
a special night.
I
Yeah.
am, as anybody who's been paying attention knows, I'm way into cooking. I write for Library Journal now, so I'm writing reviews and things. And this book came across, and it turns out, so this is called Bodega Bakes. Isn't that the greatest cover?
Oh,
I put it up
Ooh,
on
that looks
yeah.
Facebook and everything.
delicious.
And don't you want that food?
I
But
do.
Yes.
this is Paula Velez, and
Oh my
this
gosh,
is
she
her
is so
first
cute.
cookbook. Follow her on Instagram. It's Small Orchids. She's on Instagram. She's on Twitter. She's on everything. She's
She's adorable.
adorable. She's a cutie. She's very active in the community during COVID and things. She started a thing called Bakers Against Racism, and she works with all these people
Wow.
raising money to combat racism out there in all kinds of ways. So my first big article in the Library Journal is coming up. I got to have an interview with her, and the reason I love the cookbook. It's getting like glowing reviews from me, but the pictures in here are insane. And I met her and then it turns out I actually have met her years ago when I was a James Beard Award cookbook award. We met at a
Oh,
restaurant and she
yeah.
started serving me all her desserts and pastries and we just
Oh,
connected. All these years later, we reconnect
wow.
now on through her cookbook, which they sent me an early copy. Comes out October 1st. You're gonna want this.
That is amazing.
You got to get it, see the pictures. It's just amazing. I love her.
That
And she
sounds
was
really
and
good.
she was on Selena and Chef too. She helped Selena Gomez cook. If you
Oh
ever watched the
my.
Selena show,
Yeah,
she's one of the guests on there.
I love that show. I don't watch a lot of cooking shows, but I do watch that one because I feel like Selena's a regular person, like a not like a
Yeah,
master chef. Like, so I'm
yeah,
like, oh, if she can do it,
yeah,
maybe I
yeah, yeah.
can. Even though her kitchen is like amazing, but
To die for.
right. Ron, I have to say that we are so proud of you and excited for your article that's coming out in Library Journal. You are
Thank you.
amazing.
Yes.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I have an editor. I actually have an editor now. Thank God. They helped fix
I
it.
w- I
But
need one of those.
I mean, it's just such a great thing to be doing. And like, it's a imposter syndrome thing. It's like, you go like, well, who's going to write that? I actually saw a review and I'm like, man, that's a pretty good one. I went, oh, wait, I wrote it. It was the Library Journal review of the day yesterday, and it just was so cool. It was so cool, and I
That's
feel like
hilarious,
Congratulations.
somebody else is
Ron.
doing it. You what?
That's just hilarious. Oh,
That's a good review.
to me.
Where'd that come from? There's
Oh, goodness.
Oh boy, that's so funny.
I
Well,
know it is. I love these
I
happy hours with
I
Ron.
know.
we have
They're
so much
some of
fun.
my favorite.
You guys are the best.
You are.
Oh, I
We
was gonna
love
say
you.
you're the best.
We're at the end. I can't possibly do better than Kristin did in a million zillion years. But I really would like to express how grateful I am since the book club started, and how you've
Oh,
brought so many people together. You've introduced me to some authors. I love the surprise pop-ins. Aren't always people that I know, but they're people I end up knowing, and like. I think Kimberly Brock was one of them too. And you surprised me with her, and we just connected, and I finally got to meet her in person, and it's just a world that keeps
oh,
growing and growing and growing, and it's all because of you and the work that you two do. And
Oh,
oh.
I know you didn't know each other that well when you started this, if at all, and look at
we
how
did
you've
not.
grown and how you've just influenced so many lives, and now it's being recognized by Zibby and by the new award that you just got, and
Yeah.
it's bringing people together, and what a great extension of the Friends in Fiction family. And now it's growing on its own. It's its own organism.
Oh,
It's just really going places, and I cannot wait to see what the future holds for you two. It's like this new thing that
Oh,
just like a little spaceship that's about to take off. We're just gonna go to new worlds and new heights, and next we have to get you to go on the road and do live book club
oh,
events,
oh
that would be
my.
fun.
right?
Yes,
Well,
I'm in.
it's funny. Well, there's two things. Well, it's funny that you say that, and Brenda might get on me because we didn't talk about announcing this tonight, but I feel like I kind of have to now. I'm
Okay.
like, I'm always like, act first, apologize later. It's funny that you say that because the South Carolina Writers Association approached us in May, I
Mm-hmm.
think, to do a webinar to their members about book clubs, growing book clubs, having relationships with readers and authors, and the importance of book clubs. And we were so honored, and we're actually doing our first like gig webinar in October, and we have
That's
not told anyone or announced it to anyone, and Brenda's probably
Nor
gonna
did
get
we
so.
discuss the announcement in advance.
and I didn't know about it. Honestly, I
And
did
Ron
not
did
know.
not
I
know
did
about
not
it,
know.
but you said
But
it, and
that's
it just
amazing.
so you guys get that's a super exclusive.
I have manifested it into the universe for everyone.
We will share that later, but the second thing I wanted to say is we couldn't do any of this without the Fab Four, without
That's
you,
right.
without Meg, and our
Absolutely.
amazing admin team that literally hold us up, and that's Anissa, Molly, and Amber. We
Molly and
couldn't do it
Amber.
without you guys.
So I'm
So
raising a
thank
glass
you.
to you as the book club, to Friends in Fiction as a whole, and all the people involved. What a big, gorgeous, beautiful, loving
Oh,
family we have. And you're a
Oh,
huge part of that. So keep on keeping
thank
on.
you. Thank you.
thank you, Ron.
Cheers.
Cheers to wonderful book friends and community.
Yes.
And our 33,000 members. We
Woohoo!
love you
Woohoo!
guys too.
We do.
Well, before we go for the night, Brenda, do you want to run down our calendar one more time? And I think we wanted to remind everyone about our t-shirts too before we go.
Yes, I'll do a quick rundown of the calendar for those who grab your calendars because we're going to run through it really quick, but we'll also have them on the book club page, so it'll be okay. On September 16th, our pick is What You Leave Behind with Wanda Morris. October 21st is House of Glass by Sarah Pekkanen. I mispronounce her name every time. I'll have to apologize to her. I'll practice before October. November 18th, we have The Fabled Earth by Kimberly Brock. Yay, Kimberly, thanks for joining us tonight. December 5th is our next happy hour with Ron Block and a special surprise guest. And December 16th is a Christmas duet with Debbie Macomber.
I still can't believe she's going to be on.
I
How'd you get
And
know.
she has a new Hallmark Christmas movie this season too, so we can talk to her about that.
And
She's the
Lisa, I
best.
will display our t-shirt if you would like to talk about that before we go.
Sure. So we finally have our official t-shirts. We have wanted to do this
Yay.
forever, and here they are. And you can find the link on our Facebook page and our Instagram, as well as our personal Instagram pages. And it's over at Bonfire. This is the official shirt, but the cool thing is you can pick whatever type of shirt you want. So there's a regular t-shirt, a long sleeve t-shirt, a hoodie, and then like a crew neck sweatshirt. And there's different colors, and there's even a purple long sleeve t-shirt that people have got. So
That's
you
turned
can
out to
pick
be
Nice.
a color.
surprisingly popular. This
Yeah.
one is the V-neck tee. This one is the V-neck tee in turquoise if you want to get this
Yep.
exact one.
Yep. And then we have sizes that go from extra small up to 5X in different shirts. So it's very size inclusive. And then also, you have to order by August 28th, which is a very special day because that is the day EB was born.
It's
Oh.
also the day, it's also Bex's birthday from A Happier Life.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it. I was like, she's not going to take this day for herself.
I love
No,
that.
I know, I did too.
Happy
It
early
was-
birthday, Brenda.
well, thank you. It was kind of surreal reading A Happier Life with the so much time devoted to that day. Oh,
I thought
goodness.
about you too when I was reading it. So, what a special night. I don't want it to come to an end, but here we
I
are.
know. And I can't wait to go back and review the comments that book club members made.
Same
Yes.
here.
As they
Same
go
here.
we can't always see them
Yes.
in real time because they go by too fast, but we're all going to go back and take a look. And we are just so proud of all of our book club members and the community, and so thankful
Yeah.
most of all.
Yeah.
So
And
grateful.
another thing just occurred to me. It's like with so much going on in the world, this is such a place of goodness, such a
Yes.
good place of caring, and
Mhm.
it's where else would you rather be than
Yeah.
That's so sweet, Ron. Thank you.
I love our members and just the love of books and love of reading that brought us all together, writers,
Yes.
readers, everything.
Yep.
It's a great way to escape the ugliness of some of the ugliness in the world.
That can
So,
be, yes,
yeah.
absolutely. Well,
Well,
book club
and-
members, thank you so much for staying with us. We ran a little bit long tonight, but I guess in our excitement to celebrate the happy hour and our 4th anniversary, we went a little long. But Ron, again, thank you so much for your knowledge and your friendship and your
always a pleasure. Always
time
a
and
highlight.
expertise.
Do you have any wrap up notes or anything you want to share, Ron?
Well, I told you about the Friends in Fiction things coming up that I'm involved in.
Yes.
One of the things that I also am very excited about is Patty and I are going to be interviewing TJ Klune. If you've read House of the
Ooh.
Cerulean Sea, there's a
Yes.
sequel to that out.
Oh,
Somewhere Beneath the Sea, I think it's called, and it's going to be a great interview. It's going to be that book is going to knock the charts. Going to knock the charts over.
Wow.
Very
very
excited.
cool.
Can't wait for
Yay.
that one.
Yeah.
Fun. And
Yay.
yeah, just keep on keeping on. Everybody keep reading and keep sharing what you're reading and why you love it. You know,
Yes,
the
we
little
love that.
librarian heart of
Yes.
mine just loves to hear about it.
I love
Okay.
that.
I know. Okay, well, thank
Okay.
you guys again for joining us. And cheers to 4 years and cheers to four more
Cheers.
and many, many more.
Yes.
Love you
And with
too, and love everybody out there. What a great, great family.
yeah. Love
Us
you
too.
guys.
Good night. Good night.
Good night
PB
and
and
happy
J.
reading.
PB and J and Ron out.